WANGYIDI! WANGYIDI, the third seed, is back with us there. I loved it when Mima Ito came out there, the big boxing build-up there, and out comes a little smiling featherweight, whatever you would call her at best. But these two are out, and make no mistake, they can absolutely trade punches when it comes to head-to-head encounters here. China against Japan in this one in the quarterfinals of the women's singles. Have a little look at head-to-head, tail-of-the-table action between these two as well, as they are very familiar foes. Remember, we are into best-of-7 format now from the quarterfinals onwards here, and that is territory that WANGYIDI is extremely familiar with in smashes and other major tournament play. In the WTT head-to-head, it's a 2-0 lead for WANGYIDI. World ranking-wise, there are 5 places between them here. And for Mima Ito, what she will turn to is the fact that it's a 4th straight quarterfinal in smash play for
Black
her.
For Ito, red for ED. Black. Ito, you want the toss. You like to receive. So ED, you'll be serving, and your side. 2 minutes of warm-up. Good luck.
Nicely set up and laid out for us there by Jasper Tan, who's in the chair, as Mima Ito will be receiving here. Yeah, Fraser Riley's with me here. Yeah, she'll be turning to the fact that she's in a smash, she's in a quarterfinal, she's very much used to that sort of thing. What was interesting in the noises she's been making about her form, she went away for a little while, refocused, and she spoke and she said, I was someone who could beat the Chinese players, and now I'm back to beat them again. So mindset-wise, as she comes up against a formidable foe that is WANGYIDI, that's a good place to be. But WANGYIDI will take some beating.
She will. I mean, yeah, Mima Chan, as you correctly put there, stagnated badly against the Chinese players, and that victory over Chen Chen-Yi was encouraging. He's WANGYIDI's run through. She beat Park of Korea, Pratika Pavad, who she was nearly beaten by at the Saudi smash, and then Adriana Diaz, 1-0, 8-4 down, and turned the table there to win the third and then eventually the fourth. She's very solid, great fundamentals, which she reverts to when the going gets tough. She's 3 in the world, but hasn't won an event in a while. What was it, the Champions in Frankfurt?
Yeah, in 2023. Finalist repeatedly, WANGYIDI. So that's a story should she make it to a final. For Mima Ito, it's really about the form that she's shown so far. And as much as the form she's shown, the mentality here. So a world ranking of 8, but of course for her, it's always about those at the very top, the higher echelons of the women's game. And that means that you talk specifically about the Chinese players. 5 WTT titles to her name. Let's have a look at her recent form here. And in terms of this event, well, she got past Kim 3-1, same scoreline against Canada's Mo Zhang. And then that really impressive performance against Chen Chen-Yi of China. And that, as much as anything, will give a belief that she can do it against WANGYIDI.
No, absolutely. She got her revenge from the previous edition of the Singapore Smash, beating Chen Chen-Yi, who just outed her in the decider. And this is what they're fighting for here. This right here is a $17,500 match, having already secured 14 grand for getting through to the final 8. So there's a lot riding on this. Mima's obviously in a good place mentally, and WANGYIDI is someone who has had problems against some of Japan's top stars before, like Ayata and Kahara.
Fan vote is a close one, narrowly favouring the Chinese player. And that might be based on the fact that you go back a long way in terms of their rivalry, back to junior play, and Wong has had the edge. Recent form would suggest this could be tight.
One love.
Who makes the brighter start? Who gets after this one faster? Best of 7. Well, that was fast. 2. Both the serve and the put away.
Well, WANGYIDI possesses a power that Chen Chen-Yi, quite frankly, doesn't. Not as spinny of a player overall. Someone who wants to take the ball slightly earlier. More of a driving player. And Ito, they're showing what she can do with that Mima slap.
Yeah, it's a trademark shot. Look at this bat position.
Comes right through the back of the ball. She loves to hit the ball flat on the backhand with the pips and the forehand with the inverted rubber.
And she came through that one beautifully.
2-all.
And she's played so well this event by mixing things up. When she's got time on the ball, not always trying to slap the ball to finish it right away, but constructing it. Nice touch, nice spanning backhand. Got Wang Yidi passive and then finished off the right ball.
3-2.
Wang Yidi is such a wily opponent, though. You can just see she's just mixing up the pace here. Won't be rushed.
Two, 4.
That's what gets her to so many finals.
Yes, those basics. She has such a strong scaffold. Can't rely on her to make any cheap errors, really. She will attack the attackable and do it with conviction. Mima has a nice portfolio of services, but Wang Yidi will have studied those meticulously. You can see the tomahawk serve of Ito not troubling her so far.
Five, 3.
What's fascinating, of course, is
5-4.
there's just a polite smattering of applause right now. In this Infinity Arena, there was an absolute tumult as Liang Jinquan got the job done just now. Everyone's taking a bit of a breather, getting ready to go again, and it's going to build, you can be sure of that, because this looks like it could turn out to be a very, very close run affair. Oh.
5-all.
Yeah, I think Ito's got all the qualities to beat the Chinese players, as we've seen previously, but they've just studied her, as they did with Hayata, you know, with Harano, when Harano broke through in 2017 to win the Asian Championships. It's like you're parting the bee's nest when you beat one of Chinese A-listers.
And when Mima Ito is able to beat the Chinese, as much as anything, yes, she's got great game, she's got variety. Personality comes into play, doesn't it?
It does. She plays so much better with a smile on her face. She doesn't want to match the intensity of the Chinese. She likes to be bouncy, bubbly. That allows her to think outside the box, stay relaxed.
Well, she got the break, and it gave her opportunity. She couldn't take it, though.
Another fanning backhand. Wang Yidi putting it into a decent enough area.
She's not just safety first. When she needs to, she can explode into action, as she does here.
Well, that was a good push from Ito, but look at the willingness to commit. All cards on the table there, Wang Yidi. Chiquita from Ito, and then the punch.
And that's just the variety that you were calling for.
Now
and the personality as well.
Yeah. Sprinkles of creativity.
But we see it again. All in.
7-8.
They tried the fanning backhand, but didn't connect with it correctly there, Ito. Wang Yidi took no prisoners. Nice finish.
And again, just giving a little bit of bounce to work with there. Wang Yidi's deadly. That's 3.
10,
really dismissive.
7.
Expertly 1 points to earn her 3 game points.
11-7.
And that's a
Game
solid
one,
start
WANGYIDI.
from the number 3 seed. Never fussed, never rushed. And she takes out the first, 11-7.
It's not overcomplicating anything, WANGYIDI. And at this level, you're at higher risk of overcomplicating than not doing enough. Brilliant start.
Yesterday saw the exit of the number 2 seed in the women's draw, Wang Manyu, but as far as the rest are concerned, well, we have lost a couple of the Japanese players, but we've just seen Hina Hayata go out to Chen Xingtong. I can just confirm that is
The
now
second game.
a result. So we've lost another seed here.
Love all.
So then, similar story to the last edition of the Singapore Smash in terms of the Japanese women's team. Ito, the last standing, which is a statement given the fact that, you know, a bit of a roller coaster ride for her mentally, not being selected for the Olympics.
She's the one who would beat the Chinese. That's right. Back in that role again.
1-all.
We saw probably the most shocking one was the abrupt departure in straight games for Miwa Haramoto.
Yeah, losing again to her Georgia, who beat her the same score at the China Smash. Zhu Yuling responsible as well for beating Hirano and Odo in 3 straight games.
Yeah, she took out 2, didn't she? Did you fancy Xingtong? Tong Tong's chances in that one? Obviously, it was on. It was on, wasn't it, against Hina Hayata?
Yeah, we knew it would be fairly close. Finished 4-3, like their last encounter, actually.
2-all.
Yeah, Tong Tong took the final game 11-4 in that one. So, all on you, Mima.
Three, 2.
Busy, organised, and very successful.
Nice abbreviated stroke there. So many of the shots have to be at this level.
2,
but barely any time to work with. Nice long serve here from Ito, making WANGYIDI enter the storm right away. Could be a good option for Ito, actually. Rush her straight from the service.
Oh, it just flicks off the edge there. That's a major bonus there. Because WANGYIDI was going to say, you're not rushing me. That was the idea anyway.
Guarantees Ito at least a 2-point cushion here.
Make that a better cushion. And this is a strong position for her in this second game. With the serves to come.
Seven, 2.
Oh, just a little blip, if you will, for WANGYIDI here. Things have been sailing along fairly serenely for her to that point.
Let 7-2.
Right intention there, just playing 1-1 on the table, trying to switch Wang Yidi around. They're both fairly short-statured players, so whoever can switch the direction of play first should, on average, have the advantage. How do you create an angle for yourself early on?
Well, there's some quality there because she's conjured up something from not a whole lot there, Wang Yidi. But Mima Ito by and large has the answers.
Wang Yidi's expecting a push, should I say a punch, a bit more often than what Ito is doing.
It's another thick edge of the table there. Well, she's got the breaks, but beyond the breaks she's also hurried up Wang Yidi. And she's hurrying away now. Pained her to have to apologize, that one.
She's a good actress, Mima Ito.
That's a huge point.
10.
And off the back of that, it's now 7 game points. One way or another, she has got into a great position here to level things up in this women's quarterfinal. Great adjustment from Wang Yidi. She's certainly not had the luck when it's come to the net or the edges so far, but put that behind her there. Well, again, she powered the serve, but it comes flying past her on return, and as a result of that, Mima Ito has fought her way back into this. We're level at 1-1, and this is looking every bit as competitive as we thought it would be.
Better conviction here from Ito.
So whilst they take a little bit of refreshment, let's get into the Smash Arena. We spoke about the outcome of that other quarter-final that was played earlier on, and it was Chen Xingtong of China who was to emerge, having been pushed all the way. This was ultimately an 11-4 victory in the 7th against Hina Hayata, who had looked, in terms of early form here in Singapore, to have a chance of getting deep in this one, but it's not to be, and that's why we find Mima Ito the sole non-Chinese player left in this one, and she's now given herself every chance, drawing level against Wang Yidi. So it's going to be Kuai Man against Chen Xingtong in one of our women's semi-finals.
Love all.
There he is.
He's back with the glitzy phone.
He's been here all week.
Yep, brought the blink, and we've seen
No flash,
Mima Ito bring the game in this one. Bit of flash work coming, not from our friend in the crowd, but from somewhere else.
1-0. Love 2.
Oh,
1-2.
Just a duck below that one, but she'll take the point.
Lovely combination here. Very in-your-face service, wasn't it? Good dodge.
It's a nearly in-your-face return there.
Three, 1.
Cute from Wang Yidi.
And if the serve's backspinny, Wang Yidi may push more often now, because when she's span, Ito's been fairly reliable with that slap. But obviously the spinny you can get it lower to the net and deeper, the better against Ito.
4-1.
She's certainly favoured that hurry-up serve, hasn't she, throughout the course of this one.
We've seen a lot more long serves now.
Good deep backhand return there from Ito.
Again, just sort of rolling over the serve, brushing up the back of it. She can't generate as much topspin with the short pips, but still a good quality shot that puts pressure on WANGYIDI to make a move. Good shot selection. What an angle there on that second one especially.
4.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. She ran around it. It was a question of where does she go next, and we've seen this early on in this match here. That's where she goes.
Quality there as well. She just sort of broke the wrist a bit more to add some side to it. That was a very, very skillful put away.
And then she had to stay in it, but to her frustration, just flicked it on the backhand long.
Coach Marlin, head coach of the women's team. I'm sure many of you will remember him. Olympic champion in Beijing. That's the event that really sort of changed the landscape of sport in China.
Oh, in so many ways. Absolutely. It's propelled some of these players to absolute superstardom.
Three, 7.
This has been an efficient run of points here for WANGYIDI, who leads by 4 now as she prepares to receive serve.
High toss serve.
4-7.
Again, she has to bring the variety, doesn't she? Fascinating contrast in styles here. WANGYIDI is all business. Similarly, her coach, of course, you were just talking about him, and it's the bubbly personality that's breaking through from the Japanese player occasionally.
7,
when that happens,
5.
She gives herself a chance.
Again, that serve coming into middle. She sniffs the attackable. She spins well. Not trying to slap too early on in the point unless it's a really, really clear choice to do so. Ito has to tame her ambition to finish the point quickly against a player whose recovery is so good.
8,
there you are.
5.
Yeah, that time she was wiser to it. Keep that flash off.
Yeah, zooming in there on Team China looking on.
What a seat the VIPs have courtside here. And the ball kids as well, they must be learning so much.
Yeah, we got the Smash Lounge either side here of the table.
6,
Well,
9.
her slap, chop, whatever you want to call it, doesn't work out. 6-9 now. Too much power on that for her, too much pace.
Yeah, the serve didn't have the surprise factor. It had a bit of kick on it, but Wang met the ball at the right time. Good proactive play from the Chinese.
Well, she stayed alive
9,
somehow,
7.
WANGYIDI, through tremendous athleticism and technique, but in the end, Mima's able to put the ball away.
Lovely point construction. Nice switch. WANGYIDI outstretched, did well. Chopped, but Ito flat hitting.
Fabulous. You give her a chance like
10,
that, and
7.
she goes inside out to set up 3 game points.
It's the identical toss to her normal pendulum. More follow through. There was no giveaway there that was going to come along. And Ito on the back foot from the get-go.
Well,
8,
attack sometimes
10.
the best form of defense, and that was borne out there. Absolutely running around and smashing that return.
Nine, 10.
It's a 1-point game. It's still game point. Wang, though,
That serve more half long, so Wang-Yidi couldn't hit it hard.
Can she stave off another, fend off another game point? No.
11-9.
So
Third
Wang-Yidi
game to Wang-Yidi.
back in front, 2-1. She takes the third.
Just a backhand touch, that's all it took. Ito, perhaps affected by the residual spin that came back off her own serve. It was a perfectly timed touch there from the Chinese player.
Let's look in on the direction in particular of the winners. We see all the balls there, but these were the winning shots played by Wang-Yidi.
Yeah, heavy majority into the backhand of Mima Ito. And this is the thing, right? I mean, against the Chinese, you'd class the shot pip style as a stylistic limitation. But against every other player in the world, it seems to work out in Mima Ito's favour. Seems to be an advantage. They just know how to tactically tease her on that side, which is to vary the depth and spins and make Ito question whether she should try and just roll it back with the short pips or punch.
Yeah, we saw her running around and punching wide a couple of times. Mima Ito, but as much as anything, it's the consistency of what's coming back at her from Wang-Yidi that's the problem here.
2-1.
That serve is just a little bit tighter, lower. Barely any difference, really. Well, a lot less difference than you would think between, say, a top 10 player and a top 20, top 30 player. But those difference when you're playing against them feels so much different. You find yourself making mistakes you wouldn't normally make.
Well, that time she did adjust very nicely on the return. Have a little look at what does she do here, Fraser?
That's a strawberry push, and that's a perfectly played one, right into the corner. Wang didn't have a clue.
Got around it, got into position, couldn't execute this time.
Yeah, that was a bit low to try and hit flat there. Ito may have had to change her mind at the last sort of second. Spin it instead.
Beautifully down there, very quick flick of the wrist on the backhand. Pulls back to 3-all.
Yeah, there it is, that punch. The first time in a while, making it as a winner, untouched from Wang.
Oh. 4-3.
She knew it was coming. She got it back well. But
maybe Ito should try and flat hit into the middle a little bit more often. Wang didn't seem troubled at all, despite it being a fast ball.
3-5.
Don't hit it into the backhand unless Wang-Yidi stood fairly centrally to the table. She's had good success rate with this fanning backhand, Ito.
yeah, you spoke earlier on about her not rushing things, not looking to rush to play the killer shot. And that was great evidence of that there.
And all of a sudden back in it. mean, with how their last encounter went, John, we expected this to be tight. They had a good game at the Saudi Smash, played each other in the quarterfinals.
Five, 7.
That was more than a good game. That was really, really close. 4-3, 11-8 in the 7th. Going the way there of Wang Yidi. Are we in for something similar here? She leads by 2.
This would be the 6th time in a row Wang would beat Ito.
Oh,
5-8.
She received, and she blocks her way to a winner.
Unbelievable coverage. Yeah, the last time Ito beat her was in 2020 at the ITTF finals in Zhengzhou.
Yeah, it's 8 out of 11 wins
6
for Wang Yidi. So as head-to-heads go, that is overwhelming, really. Oh, so good. So good. Mima thought she had that.
Mima's a very bouncy player, and I've noticed when she gets a bit nervous, sometimes she bounces just before a point of contact, so her head is higher than it needs to be. So she loses that posture and ability to get the consistency with the punch, which requires so much timing because you don't have that security of spin.
Yeah, she might be losing this game. She's looking at 4 game points now for Wang Yidi. And she is.
11-6.
And that came out of nowhere, really. Suddenly, just turned up the heat there, Wang Yidi. She moves into a commanding lead now. 3-1.
I think Ito has begun to run out of ideas. She's tried to be creative, but I mean, Wang Yidi has a recipe for success almost every time.
All the fun and games here with a bit of fan cam coming along, funny faces, filters, and why not? Everyone's having an absolute blaster in the Infinity Arena. Just waiting for that to come near us, Fraser, and we're going to hide ducks beneath our monitors if that is the case.
Well, I hope they don't do a kiss cam, John. I'm not quite ready for that.
No, there's co-commentary, there's colour commentary, and then there's that. No. It's been great, don't get me wrong.
The 5th game. Easy to serve.
No, I've had a whale of a time. It's been awesome here in Singapore. A lot of fans excited to see Sun Ying Shah in action.
1 love.
Spoke about Mima Ito running out of ideas. You've got to give credit, though, to Wang Yidi, who's just shut her down so well in this one. And it hasn't been a purely defensive outing for the Chinese player either. It can't be. Just look at the scoreline here. She's brought plenty.
It feels like there's more ways that Ito can win a point because there's more ways which Ito has to win a point against Wang Yidi, who is just so flipping solid. There's nothing apart from, you know, the flashy counter occasionally or the amazing read in which she blocks down the line that makes your jaw drop as someone who doesn't really care too much about the fine details. Ito is a more spectacular player to watch.
Yeah, but you say she has to work harder to win the points, has to come up with more, whereas it seems more effortless for Wang Yidi. She's just got the answers.
Well, Ito certainly feels like she, you know, has to do what she's doing here to better her chances. Because if Wang can read where the ball's going, she's more dangerous.
Ito.
She's proven that again and again.
Yeah, and no surprise, as she really is floundering right now, trying to work too hard. You can see her trying to produce what you call those strawberry pushes off the return so often, trying to play the low percentage shots as much as she can, and she needs to regather the thoughts, recompose, and we'll let her do that. The last Japanese woman standing in the women's singles draw after the departure a little while ago of Hina Hayata, and it looks very much now as if the last hope is going to be extinguished as she is trailing by 3 games to 1. It's still only 3-2 in this one, but just the tone of her play recently, Fraser, has been alarming for those supporting the Japanese cause.
You're almost looking out for the spectacular from Ito, and WANGYIDI's winning so many points under the radar, just keeping the fundamentals strong throughout, focusing on that. You can see there, doesn't try and hit that ball too hard, doesn't panic, just thinks, okay, this ball's loaded with backspin, I'm going to let it drop, it's long enough to try and really grease it and make it tough for Ito, who wants the slap. It's just simple. She does the simple things so well, WANGYIDI, and that is the difference maker between her and any other non-Chinese player that she plays.
She's annoyed with herself there, because the game plan clearly keep it in play and put all the pressure on the diminutive opponent on the other side of the table.
Five, 3.
And just like that, 5-3, serving. Looking so in command of herself and the situation, WANGYIDI. Well, that was good. The slap works
5-4
this time.
Yeah, outstretched as well there, Ito. Managed to play the line well. Wang, of course, tried to switch to the open side cross table, but there was a deadening effect to that slap. Ito again coming right through the back of it.
Let 5-4. Four, 6.
She just can't get near, can't get within touching distance. She's being held at arm's length here by WANGYIDI.
Four, 7.
Body language, start looking to that. She's not in a great place right now, Mima Ito.
Getting a bit desperate. High trajectory spin. Tough for Ito to get over that.
Let
all or nothing attempt.
4-7.
Seems to be too little or too much from Ito at the moment.
And then that can happen.
8.
She's going to put those away when you give her a chance, and that just accelerates her now towards the potential end of this one. She's taken 6 of the last 8 points played, and she's now within 3. Make it 2 of booking a place in the semi-final.
Missed that one, WANGYIDI, but she's saying to Ito, go on then, you know it's coming long, step the corner, otherwise you're going to have to push this with your pips. That's affected Mima Ito throughout this match as well, that service.
Yeah. WANGYIDI's just got to be careful. She looked to get that finished there. Now she does. Now she gets closer.
I think that's the most impressive switch that we've seen from Wang Yidi. She really turned it on there. That should have been a point ender. Don't know how on earth she's managed to, one, get behind that, two, close the racket and stay low after the switch. Crazy.
Fans love that. Oh, brilliant.
5-10.
And with that, 5 match points.
She's brought her best for last here, Wang Yidi.
Let 5-10.
You're right, she brought the best when it mattered.
4-1.
End of that match, which is one that she controlled really pretty much from start to finish. Just dropped the second, 11-4, when Mima Ito found something in her game, but it ebbed away as Wang Yidi controlled the following 3 games and has emerged a comfortable winner this time to maintain her dominance in head-to-head encounters with Mima Ito. It's not to be a bit of Chinese giant slaying for the Japanese player, and the Japanese challenge in the women's singles now officially comes to an end, and it's going to be Chinese players all the way through to our final on Sunday here now.
Yeah, she guarantees a Chinese winner, Wang Yidi. That'll make Coach Marlin very happy. A confidence booster for Ito, watering a drought of not beating a Team China star for a while. She beat Chen Qinyi, but she was not going to beat the world number 3 Wang Yidi today.
So she gets the job done here, and earlier on it was Chen Xingtong, you can see in a victory earlier on at the other end there. We can see Chen Xingtong up against Huai Man. Chen Xingtong in 7 against Hayata. Huai Man really impressive against Zhu Yuling. So it's going to be the winner of the He Sun encounter that takes on Wang Yidi in the other semi-final. And the action still keeps coming here in the Infinity Arena. We have got Huai Man in action once again with Wang Wanyu against Zheng and Li of Chinese Taipei. Women's doubles up next.
If you're just joining us, welcome. If you're rejoining us, welcome back. to the 4th edition of the WTT Singapore Smash. And your commentator